Good morning, boys and girls. Today in science class, you're going to learn about engineering and how they think, what they do. So let's look at our learning target together. I can investigate the science of engineering, so I understand their job. I will know I have it when I make a simple sketch and model to support a book. Our focus today is engineering. Do you know anyone who drives a Ford car or truck? I do. My husband does. I drive a Ford Explorer. He drives a Ford pickup truck. Well, that's all possible because of this man, Henry Ford. He was an engineer and industrialist who began the Ford Motor Company. He designed assembly lines so a lot of automobiles could be manufactured, and then they would be available for people in the public to buy. It revolutionized the automotive industry. Let's look at some vocabulary together. Engineer, someone who designs, builds, and tests things to solve problems. Engineering, using science and math to creatively solve problems. Design, a sketch, model, or plan for something. A problem. You all have talked about problems in reading class. There's always a problem in a good story. You've solved problems in math class every day. Well, science class is the same. Scientists look for a problem, and a problem is a challenge that needs a solution. Solve is to find a solution. Improve, to make better. And that's what engineers try to do. They try to make the life of the citizens better and improve it in some way. A test, to check to see if something is working. Fail, not passing a test or something that did not work. Fail in science is never a negative thing. It's a positive thing that scientists look at and say, this didn't work, but maybe if I redesign or change something, it may work the next time I test it. So they keep trying and they learn every time they fail at something. Analyze, to compare results of a test and make decisions about the results. Why are we learning about engineering? Well, engineers are a huge part of science. They solve problems using science and math skills. They identify a problem that needs to be solved. A lot of companies hire engineers, and they hire engineers so that they can come in, look at the way equipment is set up or a design in a certain part of the company, and then the engineer tries to come up with ways that the company can do something better efficiently at a lower cost, or it could improve production. So there are engineers in a lot of companies and a lot of fields. Engineers draw a sketch of their design before they create it. Then they design it, create a model, and test it to see if it works. You are going to be an engineer today. But before you're an engineer, I want you to watch a Brain Pop Junior video. It's about the job an engineer does and the process that they have to follow in order to do their job and do their job well. So before we can be an engineer, we've learned what an engineer does and that they solve problems through using science and math skills. Let's see the process that they go through. And What could you sketch, design, and create to solve a problem? There's a birdhouse at the top of that tree. Someone made that. They created that. What would be the problem that they're solving with making that birdhouse and hanging it at the tree? Well, birds are hungry and they need to be fed. It is the time of year that birds are looking for food. So that person probably saw lots of birds flying around and scurrying, looking for seeds or berries, something that they could eat. So this engineer solved that problem, and they made a bird feeder so that they could put feed in the feeder, and when the birds came, they would have something to eat. So could you design and make a bird feeder or a different animal feeder? I know a lot of people this time of year are feeding deer. So that might be something that we can think about. Also, look at the bottom picture. It's a picture of a bridge. And bridges are designed to connect areas of land, and it gives people access so that they can cross the water and they can get to the other side. Bridges are very important infrastructures in our country, and it really, really helps. It would be really slow if everybody had to get on a boat and travel by boat across the land. So bridges are awesome, and we need those. We need to keep those so that people can travel and get where they need to be. So think about that. Would you design a different type of bridge? It would have to be a sturdy bridge to hold a lot of weight. All right, our independent practice, and this is where your engineering skills come in. Think about something you can create to solve a problem. How to feed all the animals. There are too many cows in a small feeding trough. What could you do? You have outgrown your small four-wheeler or your Barbie car. How could you make a new one? You need a garage for your Matchbox car. Could you make one using craft sticks or small branches? Here's what I want you to do. Think about a problem you could solve. Make a sketch on a page in your spiral notebook. Write down the steps to create your model. That's a very important part. How those steps that you would follow, because scientists always follow certain steps. Draw a picture of it or make the model using materials you have at home. Please don't just run into the kitchen and start grabbing things out. Check with the adult at your house. Make sure what you are thinking about, what you've sketched, what materials you need, your design. Please make sure the adult knows about it and approves of it and will help you. Take a picture of your sketch or your model and share it with the class. Have fun being an engineer.